How we all doing? How we all feeling? It's your boy Enferjah, and today we're gonna be talking about what's been going on the past couple of weeks. Because Twitch has been twitching, and Twitch streamers have been freaking, and it's out of control and it's wild. And if you see me looking over here, it's because I have like a list of things I want to talk about. Because I'm not gonna edit this. I don't want to edit. So, first, let's talk about Hasan. All right, so Hasan was going live one day. People saw that his dog was tweaking a little bit. Turns out it's because people believe that he put a shock collar on his dog and he denied it. Well, I don't know if he denied it or not, but he said it's a shock collar, but the shock wasn't on. Weird. Um, QTCinderella, who's a acquaintance of Hasan, to have a podcast together, she went there to check on the dog, and here's why I think Hasan was lying when he said the shock collar wasn't on. QT reported that yes, it's a shock collar, but I think it's what they thought prongs. The prongs on the shock collar were removed. So my thing is, why does Hassan buy a shock collar for the dog just to remove the the parts that shock the dog? It makes no sense. So either it was on and it was there, but it got caught on camera, so that was his defense, or when Cutie called and said she was coming over to check on the dog, he removed the prongs. Those are the only two options, because I don't think shock collars are more expensive than regular collars. Why not just give the dog a regular collar? Why is the dog wearing a shock collar to begin with? Unless you've used it before. So that's one. Two, someone on stream, he was talking about something, and someone in his chat said something. Why aren't you talking about what's going on in Sudan? And he said, "You black folk." Now, black, when it comes to certain connotations of how mostly white people say black, it comes in one of or two phases. One is just regular, normal, uh, normal terminology, no hate behind it. But there's a certain way certain white people say black folk or black people in general, where it sounds a bit racist. Now, I don't know how he knew this chatter was black. Maybe they've met before, maybe they've met. I have no idea. But the way he said black folk in that video, that was a racist black folk, if I'm being honest. That was not a good black folk. That was a racist tone black folk. Alright? And if I'm being honest, I was never really cool with Hassan. He has like a self-righteous attitude about him that I don't like. I feel like he's trying to be like a hero that he's not. Like, if you want to talk about politics and justice, you can do that, but you don't need to act like the hero. Just be, you don't need all this extra shit. Just be regular, right? So I've always seen him as just self-righteous, and it's annoying. Now we have to go to Cutie. So Cutie was on stream with someone named Vanilla and Katie B. They were on stream. I don't know how the topic came up, but at some point it got to the point where Cutie was saying, um, Okay, it got to a point where Cutie was saying that that she would be kind to those who are racist, homophobic, transphobic, autophobic, because how would you get them to like understand what they're doing is wrong, right? And she used, as an example, she used her own family as an example, which was a terrible example because family is harder to, how should I say it? Family is harder to cut off. But if you have friends that think this way, you have to cut them off. You can't call yourself an ally and still talk to these people that have these thoughts. It is 2025. At this point, it is what it is. There's too much information. There's out there. There's too much going on. Too many protests. You see what's happening in the White House. In 2025, if someone is still racist, transphobic, homophobic, autophobic, you can't say you an ally of these people and still be friends with people that think that way. It's ignorant. It makes no sense. You're not helping anybody. Like, imagine you were able to talk to someone like a Charlie Kirk or a Donald Trump or a KKK member. You're not changing their mind. You're not going to change them unless you're talking to like someone who's middle school and under. You're not changing their mind and how they view the world and how they think. You're not doing anything but talking to air. You're talking to a brick wall. There's too much information out there in 2025. There's too much going on for them to not even like try to change at this point. There's therapy, there's all these things. That's like being a Christian and being friends with somebody who worships Satan. It makes no sense. You're wasting your time. And it doesn't help and you're not helping anybody. So if you're hanging out with these people, you're not an ally. It's just point blank period. You cannot be an ally. You cannot call yourself an ally. In 2025, if you're friends with anybody that has those thoughts. They're the way they are. The only way they're gonna change is if they want to. You can't do anything for them. So just cut them off. Family's a bit different to cut them off, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Now Nina and Zoe. So at the time of this recording, what it's gonna be at the same day, hopefully. 10/27, they're unbanned. And if you don't know, they sexually assaulted phase member's assistant. I believe the phase member was Silky, and they sexually assaulted his assistant or cameraman. I forgot, but he's a friend, and it's all on stream. And if I'm being honest, watching the video is disturbing, and it was cringy as hell. Like everyone in that room that weren't there were telling them that he wasn't comfortable with it. The guy was trying to run away, even and they pulled him back. They pulled him back. They were twerking on him, trying to take off his shirt. They even laid him on the bed, got on top of him. Suki was even telling them, hey, he doesn't want this. I feel like they should have been more aggressive, but I understand in this, I guess, climate, you don't want to like forcefully forcefully or physically touch a woman in a way where you want to like shove them off because it could come off away. But at the end of the day, you have to protect yourself too. and your friend if you feel like they're being wrong. And in that situation, they were completely in the wrong. They should have been banned longer, or if not permanently, because I think they only got a 48-day ban because both of their accounts are now, they can now stream. And I'm disappointed because actually, I'm a fan of Nina, but like, you can't be doing that. Like, if this was the other way around, and this was what, two guys doing this to a woman, like, trying to take off her shirt, pinning her down to the bed, those two dudes would have been eviscerated on the internet. So I don't think people should view it differently because they're two women. Also, when men are talking about getting sexually assaulted by a woman or anybody else, take it just as seriously as you would if a woman was saying this. Because sexual assault is sexual assault. It's the same crime. Just because one's a guy, one's a woman, it doesn't matter. It should be taken seriously the same way. Alright, so now let's get to Emiru and Mizkif. Mizkif is another dude I've always said. First time, I don't know what it is with streamers these days. I don't know if they don't have like a sixth sense or radar or like on bad energy. Like the moment you see this guy, he looks like a chameleon. You can't trust him. If you don't know what happened, Emerald basically outed Miss Kid allegedly at this point, because proof and all that, to where he said that he threatened her, sexually assaulted her, uh, manipulated her, and all this other shit that he did. And she did a whole hour 30 stream. Miss Cave also did a response video, and Miss Gift's video in a nutshell was him saying, I did it. She abused her bunnies, and all the information I have on other streamers that I haven't released, I'm gonna release because I don't give a fuck. And this whole time he talked for this whole hour, he was literally looking for tears in his eyes. The man's insane. You need help, Miss Gift. You need help. The therapy that you say you're doing, I don't think it's working because in order for therapy to work, you have to be honest about yourself. And I don't think you're at that point yet. I really don't. You are not there. So I don't even think you're doing the therapy. Two, if you are doing the therapy, it's not helping you because that video just said it all. You're disgusting and you need to take your mental health seriously. If you actually do have mental health, you need to be honest about your therapist because I don't think your therapist knows these allegations. Alright? Emiru, I'm sorry for what you went through. And I understand when you're in it, it's hard to get out of it and it's tough. And especially when it's a person of influence. And I understand the codependency part of it. I understand that. I have a degree in psychology, so I understand like the workings of the brain. And for those people who don't understand, when you're in a relationship that is traumatic, when you're in it, you don't see it as traumatic because your brain is not putting two and two together until you're actually out of it and you're able to think things through clearly. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm kinda happy you don't got as many bunnies as you used to have. Ain't gonna lie, just saying. But I'm sorry you had to go through that. I hope you're taking the time to heal and I'll help you with friends and family that actually care about you. Okay, finally, I'm gonna talk about streamers in general and content creators in general. All right, stop holding information about creepy ass streamers. If you know someone is being creepy in social media, say something because it doesn't do any good in the long run. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna come out because you guys are all just holding videos in your phone, holding text messages. It's like you guys are all just waiting to blackmail each other, and that's not healthy. That's not good for the platform. That's not good for y'all, especially for those who actually think they're making friends in this content creation world. It's not good and it's just trash. Don't wait for something to happen to another person for you to say, okay, now I'm gonna uh say something. Because at that point it's too late. Also, when you already if you're the streamer already know that this person is trash, human being trash filth, and you're continuing to hang out with them, you are in the wrong. Like when Mizkif got accused of sexual assault the first time, and then he went away, came back. A lot of known streamers were crawling back to the guy. I don't know why, but I'm not gonna be friends with somebody. I don't care how long we've been friends. The second you've done something so disgusting and weird and wrong, we're not friends anymore. I don't care. I don't care if you went to court or not. I don't want to be associated with you anymore. Because the fact that you have these allegations on you in the first place to put yourself in that situation, it just shows to me you don't have the sense to know what's right or wrong or to put yourself in the right situation. You guys are all most of y'all are grown to know what's right and wrong. So there's no excuse. Another thing, if you don't speak out because you're afraid someone's gonna take your platform because they're gonna like out you, no listen, no content creator, zero. I don't care how big or small they are. No content creator can take what you've built for yourself. The only ones that can do that is the platform itself or your viewers. Those are the only two factors that can take away what you have built. No one else can take away what you've built. Stop being afraid of these content creators. They can't do shit to you. They can't touch you. They can't take away what you've built. As long as you're a good and decent person, you're just gonna be a decent person at this point. They can't do shit to your platform. They can't take away what you've done. The only ones that can do that are your viewers and the people that control the platform, like a Twitch or YouTube. As long as you don't get banned from those two or three or however many platforms there are, and your audience is willing to stick by you, they can't do shit. So you might as well just say what you want. I don't know why everybody on this platform, like, whatever platform, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, say what, if you see an injustice, say it. If there's a content creator being weird, say it. Warn people about them so that people don't like entangle themselves with these people. Mizkif's video, there were people in his chat saying, "Don't worry, we got you." Someone as bad as him has supporters. So, what do you think a decent person? Why do you think you, as a decent person, will lose anything if you were to say something? Don't be afraid to call these people out on their bullshit. Right? So that's it. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Most likely gonna be us continuing Pokemon. And thanks. All right, peace.